Hello everyone, welcome back to another album review. Today I will be reviewing Meatloaf's Bat Out Hell album, where the songs were wrote by Jim Steinman. I will mention that. So yeah, this album was released in 1977. I didn't realise it was that old. It's massive, it's a famous album, very well known, especially in the rock category. I couldn't actually find the original album. My dad will have it somewhere, but I did find this one, which is more like a one that was released, I think, probably 2006, I think. Yeah, 2006 this was released, and this has bonus stuff on. But I'm just talking about the original album and songs. So I'm a big fan of Meatloaf. My dad is a massive fan of Meatloaf. I grew up listening to Meatloaf. I love the fierceness of his songs, the rock, the rises and the falls in the songs, the aggressiveness in some songs. I love that about him. The storytelling as well. Meatloaf's known to be quite theatrical with his songs and his performances when he performs live and in the music videos. My mum and dad saw him live back in the day. So this video isn't just a review, it's a tribute to Meatloaf himself, because unfortunately he did pass away this year. I found it on Facebook, I think. I didn't believe it at first. My dad was quite upset about it. I lit a candle for him, and my dad had the vinyl of Bat Out Hell, and he wanted me to take a photo with the vinyl and the candle together and put it on Twitter to show his feelings towards Meatloaf and how upset he was of his passing. So Marvin Leader is his real name, and his personality was bold. He was so full of life, energy, one of a kind. Like I said, this review isn't just a review, it's an appreciation of Meatloaf's work and the impact his music has had on my life. His songs are my go-to to sing on karaoke whenever I am feeling whatever. I'll sing his songs and I'll feel better afterwards. It's gotten me through some dark times, believe me, it has. I think with his songs being so emotional, you can really get those emotions out when you sing his songs. I do regret not seeing him live. I mean, I don't know if I even had the opportunity to see him live. But yeah, I do regret. Also, I did something I wanted to mention here was a while back my brother mentioned something which is quite valid. A lot of these artists from the times of the 70s and 80s, we are losing them now, and there will be a point where they're all gone. And actually, I've never really thought of it until he said it. Like, there will be a point where you can't go and see these bands or artists anymore because they're gone. And I mean, it's a stark reality of life, but it's a sad thought, especially when I relate to those times so much. And going to see those bands and artists makes me feel like I'm living in the 70s and 80s and not being able to have that opportunity available. It's quite a scary thought, in all honesty, because those times were so vibrant and unique, and the music was so different. It was real music, real musicians, which quite frankly lacks in 2022, especially rock music. But the music from these artists like Meatloaf will go on. They will. I'm still listening to Meatloaf. I expect lots of other people to still listen to Meatloaf and will do. And me doing these reviews and people talking about Meatloaf and other artists that have passed does keep them alive and their music alive. Cover bands and things like that. It keeps it alive. It's one of the reasons why I set up this channel, because it shouldn't be forgotten about these artists and that era. It shouldn't be forgotten about. I think it would be great if they did a film on Meatloaf's life, like they did with Bohemian Rhapsody or the Motley Crue and The Dirt, which I just watched. It would be bit different to that, but you know what I mean, those kind of film of the artists' lives. Because I definitely think you'd have a good story to tell, or just a film comprised of his songs, like a story with those songs, as long as it's actually Meatloaf singing on those songs and not a cover, because that wouldn't work, I don't think. Who would play him? I don't know. I write a bit, so you never know. Maybe me. Right, who writes a story on Meatloaf, or a story which Meatloaf songs can fit into. So the idea came from the musical Neverland. The cover of I have to talk about the cover because it's iconic. This is the same cover as the original. It's well fitting, it's colourful, it really catches your attention. It's spot on in all honesty. You know what album it is from just looking at it. You got the bike, you got the bat out of hell, the dead trees in the background, the graveyard. The more you look at you, the more there is. It's quite creative, that. So chart wise, it reached number 9 in the UK charts. It reached 14 in the US Billboard. Again, I thought this album would have done better, but I think it has done well with age. It's platinum even beyond that in other countries. So it's not always about when it was released how well it did. It's about how many copies have sold throughout the time since it's been released. I know that Battle of Hell did go back in the charts after Meatloaf died. So I think it was like number 3 in the UK charts as an album, and the single Battle of Hell reached number 8 in the UK singles charts, I think. I don't know how accurate that is. So I'm going to jump into the review. So number 1 is Bat Out of Hell. This song is so important to me. It's one of my favourites to sing. It's a long song, it's fast, then it slows down and we're off again, which I love. It is very long, but because it's really good, it works. It adds to the greatness actually of the song, I think. It only works though because it is such a good song, like I say. The lyrics perfectly flow and rhyme. The whole sounding of the song is phenomenal. Top level quality. Those keys that are in there really make the song the song. You've got those kind of oohs in the background with the backing vocals, which add a haunting touch to the song, which is totally appropriate with the song and the album being called Bat Out of Hell. The iconic music video to go along with it as well. You've got vocal breaks where the guitar is played in those pauses, and again it works so well. It's so well thought out. The slowing down of the song, feeling it build that guitar. I'm going to hit the howl like a battering ram on a silver black phantom bike. That bit is, I love that. I love singing that. I love listening to it. The use of adjectives in this song is fabulous. The quickness of the words being sung, I love so much. The female vocals in this song add another flavour to the song, often seen in Meatloaf songs as a performance between Meatloaf and a female singer, which you can picture just by listening to the tone of the vocals being sung, just from listening it and not actually seeing a video. The guitar sounding like a motorbike really is one of the cleverest things that has ever been done in music and rock. It just the added touches, the bass in places. This is no ordinary song. It is a masterpiece, and that is why it's so famous and done so well. I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of this song. The drum roll, love that part. Leading back with the keys and the further guitar. The evolution and variation of guitar in this song is fantastic. And I mean the bit where he goes, oh, I can see myself. I never see the sudden curve till it's way too late, being sung twice, which drops off. Then I'm dying at the bottom of a pit in the blazing sun. It's really hard for me not to sing that. Then it rises, and I think somebody somewhere must be tolling the bell, and the last thing I see is my heart still beating, breaking out of my body and flying away. And that almost it sounds like a stepping sound, and then with the drum beat, and then it builds to like a bat out of hell, and it goes off. It's so clever. And then we're back with then I'm dying at the bottom of a pit in the blazing sun again. That drop, I love singing that bit. The repeating of heart still beating, and he says that and he repeats it again with that drum mirroring that. It's so good, phenomenal. The repeating of like a bat out of hell, it shows so much emotion, it really does. Meatloaf sings every line with everything he's got. It's amazing. One thing I want to point out here, there's a really good cover on YouTube done of this song by the Classic Rock Show. They do a brilliant cover. They do quite a lot of covers from this era, and they're spot on, so I'd go and check them out. So number 2 on the album, You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, an iconic music video with that typical theatrical performance that just wrote that there. Okay, I'm just trying to make sense of what I've wrote here. You know it's that song when you hear that being played. It Was a Hot Summer Night. Again, the keys, in this song. It's so catchy and well written, this song. Steinbeck. Not Another Moment being repeated is nice. Again, a similar thing is done when Meatloaf stops singing, and the music in those pauses add so much to these songs. Those pauses with that intense music, it's Meatloaf. It really is him. So yeah, we've got some like R's with backing vocals here. The lyrics are a bit repetitive, but it's not a bad thing. I'm just pointing that out. It is a historic song. And the clapping to finish the song is a nice way to end the song, and that doesn't happen really that much. So number 3 is Heaven Can Wait. So what's obvious throughout this album is the use of keys, piano, which is associated with Meatloaf songs. It's a slower, less rocky song, Heaven Can Wait, which shows Meatloaf's ability that he doesn't just do all the highs, he can go low as well. He can do both great. And I don't listen to this one as much as the other two. I don't think I've actually sung it either. I think it's because of a slower song, and I prefer the more quicker, rockier songs. But that's just me personally. There's nothing wrong with the song. It's brilliant. This whole album is brilliant. But it is a really good song. It's well produced. It's a bit more of a raspy tones in Meatloaf's voice at times as well when he's singing those lines. So number four. sound like Joelia from Sheffield there. Right, All Revved Up and No Place to Go. Saxophone. Nice. I love how he sings the particular word boy. He sings it differently, and I like that. It has a twang to it. The grit in Meatloaf's vocals is so good in this song. It's quite a groovy song, actually. Backing vocals again. I do feel where a lot of the backing vocals are, it would have been fine without them though. Because I think with Meatloaf, I love Meatloaf, I love his voice. But with a lot of the songs, with the backing vocals, which I will talk a bit more next, I just wish they weren't there. I just feel like, I mean, in Battle Hell it works, in a lot of songs it does add value, but I think in some of them, I just would have preferred the backing vocals not to be in there. I think this is one of them. On just some places there didn't need to be that many backing vocals. So yeah, there's always a lot going on in Meatloaf songs, which is great, and I love that, and it really works for me. But I did feel like this song was a little bit chaotic. Can I just point out here, I've listened to all these songs except one hundreds of times, so I know them really well. It's only till I am reviewing them that I think, actually I'm not that keen on that. It does sound a bit chaotic at times. I think it's the backing vocals for me. It's just a bit like all this is going on, then you go that, and I just felt like if you got rid of that, it'd be fine. But yeah, that's probably just me, personal opinion. The drums before I Can't Lie particularly stand out. So number 6 is Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I think my dad quite likes this one. Again, it's got an iconic videos even performing it live. They basically did film all these videos at the same time though, didn't they, these music videos. It does have more of a 70s sound, which is appropriate considering it was released in 1977. I can't really explain it, but it does. Again, I'm not keen on the backing vocals really, and again I listen to this song, group listen to this song, I'll listen to it. It is a good song, all these songs are good songs, but I just feel like a lot of the backing vocals I'm not keen on. I don't know if it's just because of the particular vocalist that I don't like their sound. I don't know if it's that, or without hearing someone else's alternative, I don't know, or if it's just I just think it's too much for me in some of these songs. Some of them it works fantastically, but some of them it's just a bit too much for me. Yeah, it's not until I've reviewed these things that I realise and pick up on these things. Yeah, but it does show, because actually the ones with a lot of these backing vocals which I'm not keen on are the songs that I don't really listen to much, unless my dad's playing them, or yeah, that's it really. So I know you probably think, hang on, you said you're a massive fan of Meatloaf. I will get to it. the end I will explain that, because I'm like saying I don't really like these ones. It's not that I don't like them, it's just, it's the backing vocals that I don't really like. So I do really love the groovy guitar in this one. Again, a 70s sound. What have I wrote here? I mean, I guess with the female vocalist, it is a nice comparison, but it's just not for me. Apparently it was Ellen Foley, I think, who was singing on here. Yeah, the end bit in particular, it does go on quite a bit. I mean, Bat Out of Hell does, but it worked. But for me, this one, it's just, I feel like I would prefer it if it was cut a bit shorter. Yeah, I mean, for example, Dead Ringer Fill Up, which is not on this album, which is done with Cher. I love that song, and I like Cher and Meatloaf's voice together. But I don't know. I'm assuming this is Ellen Foley who's doing this. The other, I think it's her who's doing the female side of it. I find it too much. I find it too much with her and Meatloaf's voices together. And I mean, she can sing. There's nothing wrong with her voice. I think it's just me personally. I preferred Cher. I know Cher wasn't singing in these songs. It was Dead Ringer for Love, but just a bit of a comparison there. I think it is just down to what I like the sound of. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh, that's bad. I'm not. It's not. It's just. You'll probably know what I'm on about. You will, hopefully. Okay, so number 7 is the last song on the album. So, for crying out loud, I hadn't heard this. My first thoughts were, it's stunning. It really is. I mean, at times I thought I maybe had heard it, but it's not one of those like the other ones where I'm like, oh yeah, I know this stuff by heart. One of my thoughts was that I wanted to sing this song. I want to have a go. I mean, I must have heard it at some point, because I'm pretty sure my dad's played Bat Out of Hell album all the time. So, no backing vocals, which is what I brought next, which I like, because I like Meatloaf's voice, but the backing vocals, I'm just a bit like, This song is, again, haunting. I've used that word before in this video, but it is, and it suits the album greatly with it being Bat Out of Hell. When I'm saying haunting, by the way, I'm saying it in a good way. I do like rocky songs, but this is amazing. Is what I wrote next. I then wrote, wow. So okay, then we do actually get a rocky part in the song, and I think actually I would have preferred if it stayed slow, personally. I mean, nobody cares about my opinion, but I'm doing a review. I'm doing an honest review, so I find it really hard to like say that I don't like parts of songs, especially when I'm a massive fan of the artist. I feel like I'm being a hypocrite, but like there is bits that I don't like, so I'm going to try and be honest. Which I don't often say about music. Yeah, I normally do like the fast songs, but this one I wish she kept it slow all the way through, maybe made it a bit shorter. When it does go up, if Meatloaf had, the voice had gone higher up, but it kept the drums and the pace lower down, I don't know if I would have preferred it then. But again, I'll never know, because I'll never know. You got violins in this song, which I can hear as well, and then it slows down again, which I like. I really like that part before it went off. I wish they just, if I could just have that as a song, I think I would have, yeah, stunning. But the bit over here I wasn't as keen on. Yeah, I brought here, I was a bit lost off after that bit. I mean, it goes on for 8 minutes, and I was just a bit like, okay, Bat Out of Hell worked. This one, for me, I wasn't as keen on. The beginning bit, yeah, but after that, when it went off a bit, no. But, right, You know what? It's a great album. It is. Even though I've just said I don't like this bit, I don't like that bit. But overall, it's a good album. It's great. Stood the test of time. So yeah, I've listened to all the songs except the last one many times. But actually what I've realised is actually a lot of the songs I really love and I always listen to of Meatloaf and on this album. And I mean, this is probably his most famous album. Am I right to say that? And actually, a lot, like some of my favourite songs aren't actually on here. Objects in the Rearview Mirror is actually my favourite song by Meatloaf. But the biggest thing for me in this album was the backing vocals. At times it was just too much. It was too much for me. I just felt like it was like, it was too much. I just wanted to listen to Meatloaf's voice because I love Meatloaf's voice. Yeah, a bit chaotic at times. The songs are very long in some cases, which can be a bit much at times. I guess it depends what mood you're in as well. Yeah, I literally just wrote that. Yeah, if you're up for listening to a song of that length. I mean, I wrote here, I love Iron Maiden, but sometimes I don't want to listen to Iron Maiden, you know. But overall, it's a classic. Even if some of them aren't my favourites of Meatloaf. But however, I hopefully will eventually end up reviewing them. Okay, so next review. Well, nobody's even watched the review of The Dirt, the film about Motley Crue, and I was like, I literally went through stages of the Motley Crue. I was like, nah, I can't listen to them. No, after everything they did, I can't listen to them. And I listened to them and I was like, no, I don't like them. And then I was like, actually. And I was like, well, I'm not sure about Vince's voice. And I was like, what have I listened to for the past 2 weeks? Motley Crue. And now I like them. I do. Vince's voice has grown on me so much. And anyway, I was telling my dad about it all. And he found this. Is this just... Oh. Wait, do I know any of these? Have I listened? I don't think I have. No. So it's literally just girls I listen to. What are they doing on the back of this vinyl? Crikey, man. How did Nicky Six get his hair like that? Like, seriously, how did he actually get his hair like that? He must have just pushed it up or something. So, possibly could end up reviewing Motley Crue, but I've got other bands artists I want to review before that. So the next album review, I have actually wrote 2 album reviews of artists that I've already reviewed before. So one's Lou Gramm and one is Survivor. So I've got Survivor's second album, Premonition. I've got Lou Gramm's second album, Long Hard Look. Quite different reviews. I think I will upload Premonition next. So Survivor's second album, which was released in 1981, because that's the one I wrote after this one. And then I'll put the video up for Lou Gramm. Diamond Star Halos, I'm still listening to. Like I said, I've been listening to Motley Crue. I haven't had time to listen to Diamond Star Halos, but I have wrote actually half the review. I need to listen to the rest of the album, and then I'll release that. I'm thinking of doing a review actually. When I first set up this channel, I said I'd do reviews, possibly modern-ish albums from 70s and 80s bands. I mean, obviously Diamond Star Halos has been released this year from Def Leppard, but they are a band from that era. I want to review an album which means quite a lot to me actually, that I listened to quite a lot when I was younger, was Bon Jovi's Lost Highway. It really takes me back to being a kid driving around with my dad in his Escort van. So I think that's one on there that I want to review. I don't know if I've started listening to Cyndi Lauper's debut album as well. Right, let me just Google Marillion. Yeah, that is how you pronounce it. Marillion. Who actually, I think a lot of people think they are a Scottish band, but they're not. It's just Fish, the lead singer, that's Scottish. I've been listening to their song Lavender, and it's so good. It's a stunning song. And I looked at that album, and there's other good songs on there, so that one's probably a one which I'm thinking of reviewing as well. So about 26 minutes going in, which is about average for me. Sorry. So everyone, take care now. You know, there's a lot going on at the moment. So take care out there. Look after yourselves. Go and watch some 70s and 80s stuff, you know. Take care, everyone. Bye.